in the other room planning world domination?
I'm a little worried about Hambot.
Yeah, we need to.
We got disconnected. I had to log back in.
Oh, Hambot got disconnected from our webcast. Do you believe that?
Well, it's when we lost power.
It's when Freddie tripped over all the wires or something. Okay. Okay. Well,
what are we going to do? A book or?
let's do a book.
Let's do a book.
Let's do a. This is our Arduino book.
Have you got one to show?
Yeah, I got one right here.
Okay. You guys, this book's going to be autographed.
This is what you're going to get, and I'll go ahead and sign it for you, and we will get these things shipped out tomorrow. So you'll have it in the mail, hopefully, first part of next week.
Hey, and another thing along this line, if you don't win a book tonight and you want an Arduino book, the ARRL has given us a special deal, right?
That is correct.
Tell them about it.
Just 2 days ago, I got an email from ARRL, Bob Enderbitson and Jackie Ferrari, and they are offering a $5 shipping to anywhere. We're talking United States, overseas, everywhere. $5 flat rate shipping for the book for 48 hours. The special code is CAST, CAST. Use that when you check out, and you get $5 shipping on the book.
Okay, hey, Hambot found a winner here.
All right, who we got?
It looks like the winner was WB0HHM, I think.
Congratulations.
Oh, and we had AB9FJ typed during that, so he got
kicked.
He didn't get kicked, but he got silenced. Maybe one of our admins will turn him back on. He's learning. You know, maybe some new people don't really know the rules. If one of our admins don't turn you back on, just log out and log back in, and you'll be okay.
Okay.
All right. So hey, we got the first prize down and out of the way there. Okay. So back to where do we remember where we were?
Well, let's fall back a little bit.
Okay.
Because we kind of found out how I got into the Arduino, into the book, but we really didn't see out how I got here all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things way back in high school, I had several of my school classmates were hams, and they introduced me into it, and there was instant love as far as electronics and whatnot. But that was back in the era where the microprocessor was brand new. You had the 8080, and those things were like $100 a piece, and you were afraid to smoke them. And but I got into that. I spent about 7 years doing military research. Virtually straight out of high school, they snatched me into a military research program. How's that for scary? But I did military turbojet engine research. I was on the data acquisition side. At Pratt Whitney Aircraft Government Products for about 7 years, and we did the engines for the F-14, 15, 16, and the Blackbird there. So we had every day was something new, but it was always data telemetry and control, and that seemed to be where my strength was. And after that, I transferred up to Birmingham and did a lot of the early hospital interfacing of their instrumentation. And Frank, we're that old. Sorry, but I got into that, and then this part I'm going to have to mumble so you don't hold it against me. I spent 7 years working on the network at IRS here in Memphis. Did a little, hey, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
But didn't have to pay taxes for 7 years. But then I also did a little bit at FedEx. And then about 12 years ago, I got onto the job I am now. I'm with the Mississippi Department of Education. I do network consulting, technology, basically anything involving technology in the schools and in the classroom. I'm part of it, primarily infrastructure support. Thank you, Tom. I do need forgiveness. But and so now I'm working with the school districts, and the big thing we have is we don't have a whole lot of money. And so we got into open source, and we use a lot of open source products in the Mississippi school system. We use a filtering system put together by ClearOS that I adapted in. We use a lot of asterisk-based systems, and just a whole bunch. They're like a Swiss Army knife for us. If we need something, we end up going to the open source and ClearOS. So that's kind of how I got here. But in the meantime, I told you that I was kind of out of ham radio for about 10, 12 years. I didn't lose my license, but I was kind of in and out of it. And I actually showed cats for about 10, 12 years, and was actually one time a cat show judge. And one of the things everybody's always teasing me about is Misty. And she actually helped co-write this book. You want to talk about a slave-driving cat. It's feed me, now go to work because you're not going to buy stuff to feed me. But it was really kind of interesting. While doing the book, it was like every night at 11 o'clock, stop, you're done, and I would not be allowed to continue. It was really hilarious watching the work being controlled. Anyway, I've got a shot, because everybody's always wondering what a Maine Coon cat is, which is what I've shown. And if you don't mind, pop that up, and you can see
Maine Coon cat.
Maine Coon cat. This is what I showed for a number of years. And as you can see, they are big, big kids. And they're very, very marshmallow temperament. But anyway, when they say, as you see on the top of the top two are the cat that I showed that won in Madison Square Gardens. The bottom one is Misty that I have right now. And as you can see, she's guarding those pens and pencils. And you do not take them. Anyway, that's how I got to here. And yes, you use IM to contact Kathy.
Yeah. Hey, just quick before it scrolls off.
Yes.
This guy has a rotor that only turns one way.
All right.
That's probably a motor problem,
yeah,
right?
that's more than likely a motor or a wiring problem.
Yeah.
The easy way to test that, of course, is the ASU, I think, uses 24 volts on those motor pins. You can actually jumper in power between the ground and left and right and see which way. There is also a limit switch, and it's possible inside. Yeah, KI6YWX got it too. Limit switch could be stuck in that direction, which won't allow you to turn.
So do you want to share your email with our viewers if they want to talk to you about Arduino?
Yeah, it's in the book.
Okay.
It's kw5gp@arrl.net. And I will answer as I can, but realize there's a million other people sending me email right now.
Yeah.
Tom, people are sending me private message with questions. Do you want them to put them on the chat room so that y'all can read them? Or do you want to do
either one.
Yeah, don't.
Y'all tell them.
Don't send private messages to Kathy to be relayed to us. Just send your questions directly to us in the chat room. If you want us to call you back and put you on the show so you can ask your question in person on the phone, then a private message Kathy with your name, number, and call. Okay, so man, we've got a lot to do tonight here.
We have a bunch.
We got a lot of things to demo and show and talk about, and then we're going to get in. I know we're going to get into a lot of questions and answers regarding this as we go. And then maybe after, if we have time to demo all this stuff, we can still sit down and then just answer, questions and answers, those type things. All right. So, what do you want to move over and start on the first project?
Let's go ahead and take a look at one of the first projects here.
Okay.
We can sneak out of the coat. I'm gonna get the Bazinga shirt.
Yeah.
You just watch. Let's see. Where would we like to start first? I saw somebody in the chat room say they wanted to see a simple project. So, what we'll start is with simple. We've got, this is a Morse code, random Morse code generator.
Are we?
And this is about as simple as you can get. It's got an Arduino. I got it tightened down. It's got an Arduino Uno inside and a speaker and a battery. And with the pot, you can randomly send CW. And you can hear, you can go all the way down to 5 words a minute. As you learn and as you get going, you can bring the speed up. And then as you keep going, and by the time you're this way, you're on CW station at Field Day. And this only costs about $15 or $20 to build. And this is one of the first projects in the book. It's very, very easy to build. And let's see what we got here. But this is just something simple. But then we can keep moving up. And let's see. Let me show you the second Arduino project. Actually, this was the first Arduino project that I ever built. And those of you who have heard my CW will know why this was built. This is a keyboard, a Morse code keyboard. All you do is type what you want, and it will send. You have variable speed through the keyboard. You can increase the speed or decrease the speed. And you can also control the backlight. And we've also got 5 memories in it. So it's actually a CW memory keyer, all in one little package. And this one I've left open so you can actually see how it all goes together. And basically it just, everything fits. This is a box that's made for the Arduino and leaves you room to put extra stuff in. And everything here uses the Uno. I saw somebody asking where I get my parts. The vast majority, I get them right off eBay. Also, Adafruit, SparkFun, Embedded Adventures. There's several others out there. These cases are SolarBotics. Not this one. This is a SparkFun case. But some of the other cases I get from SolarBotics. And to me, the case is what makes it. The case gives it a function. And really, you know, this was sitting there out in the middle of the storm that we were talking about earlier. And came through just fine. But this is, you're looking at about $20, $30, $40 to build. And I think that's the fun part about the Arduino. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You're not afraid of frying anything. If it happens, it happens. Just, you know, $10, go get another part. So you've got, you know, the fear of building and not knowing is kind of taken away. And I think that's one of the big things about the Arduino. It's not hard to get into. It's real easy to learn. And, you know, there's nothing to be afraid of. You really can't hurt yourself. But that's pretty much the second project that we've got. And we're, believe it or not, we did not have enough room on this bench. We actually have a stack of stuff over here that we're going to be moving up onto a break. Those of you that were watching the Facebook page over the week, I pretty much posted everything that's going to be here, and everything made it. I got the G800 rotor and cable this morning, so it's been tested. It's here. We've got a CDE rotor controller. We've got our GPS, which didn't sync up yet. We actually have a GPS that will calculate your grid square, another rotor controller, more rotors, more toys, and we're going to be covering all these over the next hour or two, however long you guys want to put up with me. So where do we want to go next?
So Glenn, I'll throw some questions out every now and then. Have you ever found that any of your projects are affected by stray RF transmitters in the ham shack?
Yeah, some of the rotor controllers, you can get RF on the sensing, and it will affect it. As far as the Arduino itself, no. What happened?
No, we're
okay. So, all right, to be affected. But no, I see Mike. Mike, generally, if I do have that problem, a ferrite bead, and I've got a picture for that that'll help, maybe. And let's see if I got it. Okay, there we go. As you can see here, this is the sense wire used for the rotor control position, and it's such a low voltage that I ended up putting a ferrite core on there to keep out any RF, and then also put a capacitor on it to filter out the RF. So that's how I would solve those signal issues in the shack. And let's see, where do we want to go from here? Well, this one is we're going to get to show you. And we're going to use our little tool here. Get the web bench cam going. And you got it. This is a GPS grid square calculator. Try to get the reflections out. And let's see, what angle can we get the light? That light's going to get us. But what this is, there we go. This is a GPS grid square calculator, and it has another little feature on it. This one actually speaks the time and gives me the grid square. All in this little case. We have the GPS inside right there. our little speaker, our interface, and then we have the Nokia Display. Believe it or not, those displays are only like $2 or $3 on eBay. They're very low power. They're a lot of, easy to interface and easy to use. And my next plan for this is I'm going to add the Ethernet connection, and this is actually going to be a network time server for a contest, for like field day. And so now you've got your time imported directly into your field day logger for you, so you don't have to need to worry about time. You've got your grid square, so if you're a VHF rover driving down the road, you can turn this thing on and speak, and it will tell you the grid square. So you don't even need to worry when you cross grid squares. You're looking at $20 for the GPS. The text-to-speech board is the most expensive. That's like about $40, $50. So for about $100 or less, you have this whole little thing and this little tiny thing, and you can make this smaller. That's an Uno that we're using. We can put this into a Nano, and let me get a Nano out here real quick so you can see exactly what we're talking about. Assuming I got one. There we go. This is the Nano, and you can see just how tiny it is. And it is the same functionality as the Uno, but in a much, much smaller package. So think how small you can build these projects in. And this is, again, it's only about $10. So that's the GPS and the grid square. What else you got, Tom? Any more questions? Or?
Well, we're having a little trouble here. Yeah, here's a question for you, Glenn. Glenn says the LM358 circuit has a gain of 100, but he says output is 500 millivolts for 50 millivolts. Input equal gain. What gives?
It's set to use the 20. The default is 20. It can go up to 100, but the default is 20. Okay. And so I left it at the default. And the math should work out on the 20. And I'm seeing VE3DV. Yeah, a lot of this code is free to use. That's, I think, one of the cool things about the Arduino is odds are somebody's built what you've already built or want to build. So the code is out there. Maybe a circuit is out there. Maybe 90% of what you want is already out there. So you don't have to do this all by yourself. You've got other people doing the same thing that you're doing. And so it makes it a lot easier, because then you can also find the community and you can join together, and maybe this guy has this piece of code and this guy has this piece of code. You bring them both together and it hasn't cost you a penny, and now you've got a complete project that's totally different from what the two separate ones were. And my chat room is not moving.
We're losing the chat room on ours. Just real quick out there. Is anybody out there? Is everybody getting the video okay? Could you give us? Yeah. We're trying to work through some issues back here. Y'all probably heard me mumbling. Is everybody's video okay? Okay, no problems. Okay, we're losing about half our network here on all of our chat rooms. So we're going to work on that behind the scenes. I'll make sure my mic is turned off. And Glenn, you just go ahead and continue. You're going out. The video's working fine.
Okay. Well, let's see if I've got anything. Saw one question. But anyway, Kathy, you'll have to relay questions into me at this point. Yeah, and I see Tim. Yeah, if you've let the smoke out of a Raspberry Pi, you've had some fun. But and that's the funniest thing. I actually smoked one of those itty bitty flea-sized chip, and that thing made more smoke than a 1970s era resistor or capacitor ever would. And I mean, the darn thing almost caught fire. And there went another $5 down the tube. But let's see what else we got on the table. We're going to save that one for later. And let's see. Let's get one of these rotors off the table. What we've got here is the good old CDE high gain rotors. There's probably 1 million of these out there. And hopefully Anyway, there are a million of